Hello plebs, racing driver wannabe here. Today I'll show you my highlights on iRacing in January with 100% accurate analysis of all situations. Let's go. First of all clips you'll see refer to me as the blue and black Ford boy, cause nobody seems to like this car, so I decided to main it in GTE for maximum clapping. So first race I did was an IMSA race at Daytona. My friends told me entering IMSA was equal to buying a ticket for the Shadow Realm, and boy were they right. But avoiding death is a skill I put points in a long time ago, as you will see. Also keep in mind your opponents are as bad as you are, so expect a spin all the time and be prepared to avoid carnage. These races you need to pit for fuel. Being a Pepperger iRacing driver, I had no clue on how much fuel I needed to put in the car, and ended up getting passed by these two racy boys. But as I said before, and you probably figured out, it was a 200 IQ move, as on the last lap they nearly killed each other. Problem was I was just behind and the thick BMW didn't want to give up and nearly took me to the Shadow Realm with him. Lucky for me my spider senses were activated and I stopped turning in as I felt him sending it. I'm not sure if he had dirty tires or just missed his braking point, but that was a scent. On the last lap of a 1-hour race, that could have destroyed both of us. A megalol. This was my first IMSA race. I started 14th and finished 11th. The Ford clapping had only just begun. I was ready for more. Then I did a race at Le Mans where I started 5th and finished 5th, so let's move on to the next one because this one was just me trying not to die by myself, so I decided to re-enter this race to actually clap some asses, and boy it turned out way better than expected. I failed my quali lap and started 22nd. I could have quitted to avoid high risks of death, but I'm not a fucking wanker. What happened next? From avoiding carnage to braking later than Daniel Ricciardo to overtake, made me go from 22nd on the grid to 4th on the finish line. Let me show you some of these moments. And everyone taking penalties also helped quite a bit. I also saw cars appearing in front of me out of nowhere, but they were no match for my mighty American EcoBoost. I clapped some BMW at the first chicane. Looked like they had no brake. But then I had to do maths and decide to change strategy because I was catching up to a group of cars. So the Bonotto inside me decided to do one more lap, and it worked. I passed all these fuel consumers and made Greta Thunberg happy due to my fuel economy. I made a last lap pass at Indianapolis to take 4th and clapped another BMW in the making. Ford definitely OP. I was lucky the guy decided to be fair play and didn't block, otherwise I would have probably died from a spin into the wall. But hey ho, 22nd to 4th was happy days. Now let's go to the last race, which was even more interesting and in which I'll tell you my master plan to get good results. So here we are in Bathurst, ready to try and survive the walls, ready to go out and get a good quali lap. I was quite excited as I really like this track, so I went out a bit too fast and took a black flag. But good news doesn't stop here, as at the end of my first quali lap I went full drifto out of the chase and missed the walls by only divine actions. I then proceeded to my second quali lap and it was a decent one. Yes, you see clear. 3 Ford boys on the first 3 grid slots. On the things that never happened, this never happened the most. So I started second, and managed not to die at turn 1. The boys behind were quite fast, and it's at that time that my great master plan of letting them all by and let them kill each other went out of my brain. I then obviously purposely proceeded to get down to 5th place without dying. And then my great master plan started to open back the road for me. First, guy in second took the leader out. Here's an on-board view so you can see he penetrates the car with maximum power and gives him no chance. Then the guy in third decided to give up on brakes at the worst place and faced a wall right in front of me. That was 2 down. 3 to go as someone behind me was putting a bit of pressure. Here on the left you can see a dead race leader. As you can see he went full drifto in the grass and faced the wrong way. He will then proceed to kill his car into a wall, as we'll see. That's another competitor out of the race. Making mistakes is okay. As you can see here, I went a bit wide but I didn't touch the wall, which is fine. But then on the next lap I nearly died here and had to let the guy behind pass because I'm not a cunt, and I also didn't want him to kill me cause I was slow. Here's our previous race leader giving up on life. The guy that passed me when I made my mistake then did his best to die at the worst corner and take me into death with him. As you will see, I touched him. But Ford is a solid boy and I only had a minor 47 seconds of optional repairs when I pitted for my scheduled pit stop. I carried on with the damage as I wasn't losing time to the race leader at this moment. Only the left front was damaged and that was just enough to my straight line speed, but it was okay. Meanwhile, my great master plan was still making carnage as the race leader burned it, but he didn't touch anything so was able to rejoin. Well, at least until the lap out of the pit stops where he bottled it pretty hard in the wall and then proceeded to hit them again as he was trying to rejoin the race. I passed him and I was leading the race. I thought it was okay and I only had to drive it home. Oh boy, was I wrong. There were a lot of GT3 drivers who weren't thinking this way. As it's a multi-class race, you have to deal with the GT3 cars. This guy here was the scariest, going from wall to wall in a blind corner. What a lad. I was able to avoid the collision at the last moment. But it was nearly the end of the race and I would have been disgusted to be taken out this way. It looks even better on TV cam, so here it is. There was also some scary moments with a lot of cars on the roads. I decided to go in and pray that all had seen me before, otherwise only Narnia was down this hill. Luckily these guys weren't deaf or blind, which made it easy for me. Thank you, lads. So this race was my first win in IMSA on iRacing. The great master plan had succeeded and I survived the mountain. I still have no fucking clue how I did. Anyway, thanks for watching, boys. I hope you enjoyed. If so, click that like button and comment to tell me you want more of these. If you have any remarks, don't hesitate, as anyway I can't punch you through the screen. Again, I hope you enjoyed and hopefully see you next time for more strategy, crashes and death avoidance. And don't forget that Ford is best boy.